What is key in organisations today is to be able to provide people with the certainty of a developing future. What that means is not necessarily to do with the business, but to do with the individual themselves. People want to be sure that they are developing their skills, that they are gaining the right kind of experience that will keep them employable, whether it's with the organisation that they're in currently, or whether it's to be able to get another job with another organisation, should that be necessary. I believe that there is increasing evidence, this is coming out of formal surveys, but also anecdotally, increasing evidence that career development is the number one issue. For a long time, we've worked on the basis that people leave managers, not organisations. That sort of notion has formed the basis of a great deal of management practice. I believe that no longer applies for two reasons. One is because organisational structures have changed and there is now no longer that concept of hierarchical command and control manager. There is no longer the one manager who will have linear responsibility for the individual. But it's also changed because people recognise that the only way they can have job security is through career development. I have suggest in strategic talent development a three-stage career development planning process. The first stage is around the current role. What is the stretch and challenge that the current role will offer me? The second stage is what role might I do next? The third stage is what role might I do after that? Now, this may not be a position. We may be talking here about capabilities, whether these are behavioural capabilities or functional capabilities. But the important thing is to be able to offer support to people so that they can think their career through in the long term. Once you've done the thinking through, of course, you need to follow that through with some action. And that is around opening career development, opening development opportunity to people now that will move them along their long-term career path. It's a very simple process, it's a very simple notion, but it does take some particular approaches. The first approach is that there needs to be a general recognition on the part of the organisation and managers and individuals themselves that the best learning comes from the experience that you get on the job. So the three-stage career development planning process works best when there is somebody, there is a manager, there is someone in the organisation who will be supporting the individual and identifying what opportunities might be open to them. These might be projects, or they might be secondments, or they might be getting involved in taking on new responsibilities within the current job. But these opportunities need to be ones that will lead the individual towards their longer term career goals. A key part of of learning from your experience is also by having the opportunity to reflect on this experience. And again, part of this process is that there is someone who can accompany the development of the individual by just sitting down with them occasionally and helping them pull out what it is they've learned from the work experience that they've achieved. The three-stage development process is actually quite a radical departure from what tends to happen in organisations today, which is that development tends to be on the basis of how you can do the current job better. There's often a reluctance on the part of managers to release people for learning or for development or for training that it does not have that direct impact on the current job. And again, this is a mindset change which needs to be taking place in organisations, and it's part of the importance of empowering people to take a future focus, to be looking at what's on the horizon and thinking about what might happen next. Not everyone in the organisation will want a three-stage development plan. A lot of people will say that they're quite content where they are. What is significant is that everyone must have a first stage. Everyone must recognise that their job is not going to stay the same. There will be changes in what they do and how they do it, because that's the age that we're in. Nothing stays the same for very long. The three-stage development process is also a way in which the organisation offers appropriate development opportunity to the people who are your high performers and who have the high potential that you're looking for.